Here to help us take a closer look at Hezbollah and their involvement in this conflict is Clare Lopez, founder and president of Lopez Liberty LLC and a specialist on Middle East terrorism. Thank you so much for being with us. Hassan Nasrallah said further escalation on the Lebanese front is a real possibility. How concerning is that?
Well, I subjected myself this morning to listening to Hassan Nasrallah, Secretary General of Hezbollah, and he shrieked hysterically for well over an hour. And I came away with basically two takeaways. Number one, he appeared to be reciting from an Iranian script that he probably received from Tehran when he tried over and over again multiple times to make the point that Hezbollah and Iran had absolutely nothing to do with the Sabbath massacre, as we're calling the events of the jihad attacks of 7 October. And then secondly, the takeaway for me was his impression that he left, that Nasrallah left, that while other elements of what they would call the muqawama, the Islamic resistance, like the Houthis, like the Iraqi Hashd-e-Shabi, are mounting attacks against Americans and shooting off missiles and rockets, the forces of Hezbollah themselves wish Hamas well, but hey, Hamas, you're on your own.
Well, that definitely is the fear, is the escalation. If Hezbollah enters the war, how does that change the current conflict?
Well, the first thing I would say is that it very well could be that Hassan Nasrallah is trying to mislead us with the thrust of this speech today as I laid it out. That's a possibility. Were Hezbollah to engage in the fray more completely, it would be a game changer. Now, the Israeli armed forces have positioned thousands of reservists and troops of the IDF up on their northern border with Lebanon and are ready. They're not going to be taken by surprise if anything more occurs on the northern border than already has right now. But they are ready for that should it occur. But it seems to me and others that I've been listening to that Iran really wants to hold Hezbollah back because Hezbollah is their major force. It's their number one force for opposing Israel when the time comes, and that time will come, when Israel must take action against Iran's nuclear weapons.
Well, Claire, really quickly, what does the war in the Middle East mean for the U.S.? More terrorist attacks?
Certainly, we are seeing our forces in the Middle East being attacked in places like Iraq and what they used to call Syria. They have been under attack. The United States has brought more forces to the region to reinforce them, in addition to two USS carrier strike groups and the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit positioned right now in the Red Sea, which are together intercepting rockets and projectiles being flown towards Israel out of Yemen by the Houthis, an Iranian terror proxy. And so we also should be aware that in the United States itself, with our wide open borders of the last couple of years, the Department of Defense airlift out of Kabul, Afghanistan more than 2 years ago, it is more than likely that our Islamic jihadi enemies already are in the United States organizing, and we need to be aware of that. Director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, speaking yesterday, made this very same point. But what really seemed terrifying to me was his concluding remark that, no, he said, the FBI is not tracking any foreign terrorist organizations or cells right now.
Well, it's certainly something we'll be tracking carefully. Claire, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insights.
Thank you.